Hey everyone, I'm back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. I hope that you've had a really good week. For those of you who are tuning in for the very first time, welcome. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. We are here live every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. Welcome. Thanks for those who are still starting to join here. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. If you tune in every single Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, thanks so much and welcome back. For those of you who sent your messages last week, direct messages on social, thank you so much. I really appreciate that related to Hurricane Ian. And hi, thanks for those who are still starting to join here. Related to Hurricane Ian, as you all know, I do reside in the Tampa Bay area of Florida, and although the hurricane did not directly hit Tampa Bay, it actually went a couple hours south of our area. We are still, of course, as a community, really praying, and I encourage you. Thank you for your prayers, first of all, and your thoughts and concerns, and I encourage you to continue those same thoughts and concerns for our neighboring counties in Florida that got hit pretty hard. Thanks for those who are still starting to join here. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. They got hit pretty hard. It was a Category 4 hurricane, almost Category 5 of what I'm reading, in some of the images, which I'm sure you've seen no matter where you live, are pretty difficult. People lost a lot of possessions. People lost lives. So it was really tough. So again, please keep the Hurricane Ian victims in your thoughts and your prayers. There's a lot of information online. You can go on many social media platforms and find different ways to help. If you want to help directly, which would be amazing, by donating your time, donating your money, whatever resources you have, because again, a lot of people were affected by this really strong storm. And thanks so much for those who are still starting to join here from San Francisco's in the house. Welcome. Virginia is here. Norfolk, Virginia. Thank God you all are safe. Thank you very much. Brazil is here. Another person from Virginia is here. Welcome. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. So if you are new to Mental Health Moment, every first Tuesday of the month is specifically devoted to children's mental health, children and teen mental health, because there's, a lot that we need for our youth to make sure that they are emotionally healthy, to make sure they're doing well. Also, thank you so much. Thanks for those who are continuing to pray for all affected. Thank you for those words. Thank you. I appreciate those comments here that I'm seeing. But our youth also are also affected, obviously, when it comes to mental health. So I was reading an article recently on PBS Kids, about which I loved the article because I find it so true as a psychologist, but it was talking about how to help our youth and making sure that we give them more time in nature. You all know, if you follow me, especially on Instagram, I know some of you make some comments that I personally love to spend time in nature, because it is very beneficial as far as reducing stress and whatnot. But they also did some studies with some kids that showed the same thing, which was pretty cool. How important it is for our kids to be, I happen to live in Florida, so I do get blessed with almost year-round sunshine and warm weather. But no matter where you live, even if you're in a cold climate, finding things to do, that are appropriate, that are outside. I know that in my travels, even going to places like Utah and just seeing different places, whether it's mountains, whether it is colder weather and it's snow, whether it's lakes, whether it's rivers, whether it's parks. I mean, there's so many different things depending on what your climate is, obviously, but there's so many opportunities for us to be making sure we're taking kids outside. And it's so important, as you all know. And thanks to those who are still starting to join here. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. As you all know, who tune in every Tuesday, of course, we talk about taking care of ourselves, how important that is. But also, when you teach children this in their younger years, children, teens, when we teach them how to take care of themselves, when we show them examples, when we model that type of behavior. So whether you are a parent, a grandparent, you know someone that has a child, or in whatever way you more than likely know some child in your life, it's so important to also share this information with other caregivers, but also make sure that we are working as adults of showing them as well just some of the positive things, hopefully, that you're learning on mental health moment, but just some of the positive changes that you're making in your life for your self-care. Like, for example, spending more time outside. Because again, it was really cool to read that study of just some of the benefits of helping kids with their stress level, helping them to stay focused. I can't even imagine. I mean, I have a 10-year-old son, and having conversations with him about the hurricane last week, trying to prepare, it is really emotionally and mentally exhausting as an adult to go through that. But as a child, when children are trying to understand the world, trying to learn what's safe and all those sorts of things, and they get stressed out too, like a hurricane, for example, that's potentially coming at them, or going somewhere else. They see the news, they see things on social media about it. So it's so important, not just with hurricanes, but it's so important. There's so much that our kids are dealing with. There's a lot of kids, you all, that are still having difficulties from COVID-19, from being away from their friends and family for that long of a time, for being in a space of fear of getting COVID, for being anxious about going to school. There's still, I know we're years after this pandemic started, but there's still kids that are struggling with that. So I say all that to remind you how important it is for us to be teaching kids to take care of themselves. And one of the ways is to really think about showing them different fun activities, again, depending on their age, fun activities they can do with being outside. So if they're younger ages, if they're preschool ages, I remember when my son was little, he loved blowing bubbles, going outside. If there's some sort of outdoor activities, if there's playgrounds, if there's parks. In Florida, we have a ton of amusement parks, which I know most places do not have. So we get a little lucky, like I said, in Florida. But maybe you don't have beaches, but there's lakes, there's mountains, there's all sorts of things. I know some of the towns that I go to in the winter, I see more of the winter activities, and I see kids sledding, and I see kids skiing, and I see kids playing in the snow and having snow fights, all those sorts of things. All of that counts. So if they are outside in nature, whatever that looks like, all of that counts. If they have a pet and they're involved in taking their dog for a walk, let's say, things like that, all of that counts. It's teaching them how to have calming activities, because as adults too, we're still working on that, right? On how to calm our mind down. And we have to teach that to kids as well, because otherwise they get so overwhelmed with what is happening in the world, understandably. And thanks for those who are still starting to join here. From Zephyr Hills, welcome. Las Vegas is in the house. Connecticut, Nigeria, Michigan, Houston, Texas is here. Welcome, welcome. San Antonio's here. We got a couple people from Texas today. And blessings, keeping everyone in their prayers. Thank you so much. From Congo's here. Welcome, welcome. So if you're just now tuning in, today, the first Tuesday of every month, we talk specifically about children's mental health. Just as a reminder, our youth need this information too when it comes to mental health. So my biggest tip for today is really think about making sure we introduce kids early, or even if maybe they're a teenager, of the benefits of being out in nature. So again, as I was saying in the beginning of the broadcast, PBS Kids did this article recently about a study of how powerful nature can be to reduce stress for kids and to help them through everything that they're experiencing. There's really a lot. There's depression that kids are experiencing, anxiety, there's trauma. There's so much happening in the world, especially over the last couple of years, and allowing them to recenter, allowing them to recharge is going to be so important. And what's so cool about children's mental health, I always say, is again, it's a gift, because when they learn this early, then hopefully they're taking these skills into their adult years. So really, really important. Um, and hi, welcome for those who are joining here. Turks and Caicos is here. Welcome, welcome. Um, and let me see. Someone said, I think there was a question in here. Let me see if I can find it. I know there's a question in here. I think someone asked a question, but maybe ask it again, because there was a lot of comments coming in. And I think it got kind of sucked up in the comments there. But if you have any questions related to children's mental health, you can either put it in the comments, or you can always find me on drnekeshiahammond.com. Has all my social media links and they're now Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. So you're more than welcome, shoot me a question. If it's a specific question, I wouldn't be able to answer it, just because I can't give a specific medical opinion. But if it's a general question related to resources, related to referrals, I'm more than happy to try to help you find someone in your area that can be helpful, a mental health professional in your area that can be helpful. And thanks for those who are still starting to join here. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. So again, I'm sharing this information with you just as a reminder to make sure we're taking care of kids. Again, whether it's your own, whether it's somebody you know, whether it's children in the communities, whether you work with kids, and whatever capacity, very, very important, because there is still a crisis going on when it comes to mental health and when it comes to children. And all the things that they have to cope with. But the good news is there's a lot of things that we can really put in place to help them, which being out in nature, for example, teaching them skills, teaching them compassion, teaching them kindness, teaching them how to take care of themselves. These are all things that can be really, really beneficial to their well-being. So I encourage you to make sure that you do that. And I am actually here today in Atlanta, Georgia. I think someone asked in the comments where I was located today. But I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm actually going to be speaking at a conference here tomorrow. And I think I told you all about that before. So really excited about that. Again, I know some of you have asked about future conferences. So the website, drnekeshiahammond.com, will be updated soon with the upcoming, I believe they're virtual conferences in November. So I'll definitely get you information about that. But again, if you have any questions, you can always reach out website. You can always connect with me on social media. I try my best to send out reputable resources, especially on Twitter, just a ton of resources and good information when it comes to mental health related to kids and related to adults. So be sure to connect. And hi, thanks for joining here. I love all your emojis. Thanks so much for joining here. So if you need anything, you know where to reach me. And I am going to be back, of course, next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube Live, and LinkedIn Live. So have an amazing week. Take care of yourselves. Reach out to someone that you know who has children, or maybe it's your own children in your lives. There's so much we can do to help, right? So make sure you reach out. And again, thank you for those. I saw all your comments again. Thank you for all the prayers related to Hurricane Ian. Keep praying, keep those individuals who are impacted in your thoughts from that terrible, terrible, terrible storm. There's a lot of healing that needs to be done in those communities. So please keep them in your thoughts and prayers, and reach out and help however you can. So I will see you all. And hi, thanks for joining from Kenya here. I'll see you all next week. Take care of yourselves. Be blessed. And I'll see you all next time. Bye, y'all.